Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward were both in New York City this weekend for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. They were asked about the New York Giants, and they made their case to be the next signal caller for Big Blue. We're going to react to those quotes as well as Shedeur Sanders playing catch with Malik Nabers outside the bodega. But first, I want to hear from you. If you could only have one of these QBs, which is the reality, who do you want to be the pick for the New York Football Giants? Type S for Shedeur or C for Cam. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. I just wanted to hop up on here and react to what Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders were both doing this weekend in New York City. We'll talk about Cam at the tail end of the show, but let's start with Shedeur Sanders because we've done a couple of videos about Shedeur and the New York Giants. A report came out from Nevin Shapiro, the former booster for Miami football, saying that Deion would not let his son be selected by the New York Giants. We did a full 17-long-minute video last week of me pushing back on that report, and we've got new evidence on that. Let's start with this, though. Shedeur Sanders and Malik Nabers were hanging out in the city. They were walking around. They were hanging out. They were talking Giants football, so on and so forth. And a lot of Giants fans really started to find themselves involved with this storyline, and then it put itself on a rocket ship when we saw a video of Shedeur Sanders and Malik Nabers playing catch in the New York City streets. It went viral, and I'll tell you what, I kind of like the way it looks. Sanders dropping back, slinging the pill to Malik Nabers. And I'll say this much. They knew what they were doing. You think Nabers and Sanders just got together to chop it up and hang out and talk about the best restaurants in New York City? No. They knew what they were doing. There was an agenda. And why on earth did they hop in the NYC streets to toss the pigskin, and then they just dapped up at the end of it, and they said goodbye? They knew it would go viral, and they knew it would start to buzz with Shedeur being a New York Giant. We also saw Shedeur Sanders show off the New York Giants logo. He was carrying around a football all day long that came from 1925 Giants Drive, flexing the Giants football. He was carrying it around. And, it started to get interesting. What I thought was interesting that nobody really talked about was right after Sanders showed this football, that is his QB coach on the far end of the screen, Shedeur says, quote, about his QB coach, he's going to be here in New York City regardless. Whether that means he's going to be the quarterback coach for Shedeur Sanders, who is the next QB for the New York Giants, or he's going to be the QB coach for Cam Ward, which he already is, who might be selected by the New York Giants. But that let me know that Shedeur Sanders wants to be a New York Giant. And Deion actually went on to Twitter to push back on the idea that he doesn't want his son to be a member of Big Blue. NFL Rookie Watch, one of the worst accounts on Twitter, says Shedeur Sanders is reportedly prepared to be drafted by the Raiders or the Cowboys in the upcoming draft. There is reportedly a high likelihood Sanders would refuse to play if he was drafted by either the Giants or the Browns. Then Deion, primetime, quote tweeted that and said, "A lie, don't care who tells it. Please stop trying to become relevant by misrepresenting my son. God bless you." And of course Deion Sanders would let his son go play for the New York Football Giants. It's the New York Football Giants, the sports mecca in America. Deion knows what it means to, one, be the quarterback of the New York Giants, and two, what it can mean for a person's stardom if you're the quarterback for the Giants and you win with the New York Giants. They know that Deion knows that if Shedeur does that, he will be the most popular American athlete, because that would happen if he wins a Super Bowl number 5 for Big Blue. Isaiah Simmons was asked about Shedeur Sanders because Simmons was actually there with Malik Nabers hanging out with Shedeur prior to the Heisman Trophy ceremony, and he said, I think he's a guy who can come here and really transform things. Anywhere he goes, I think he's going to be a very, very valuable piece. Kind of like a Jane Daniels effect. You see what Jane's done with Washington? I could see something like that happening with Shedeur as well, wherever he ends up. I think Shedeur is an elite quarterback. We all see what he can do. I think whatever team he goes to, he can bring a lot. He's just like a really knowledgeable guy, which you expect when his dad is one of the best to do it. You can tell he's got everything he needs to be a pro. Malik Nabers did decline, though, to speak on linking up with Shedeur Sanders. So it was Sanders, it was Nabers, and it was Simmons. Simmons didn't mind grabbing the mic and talking about it. Nabers said he wanted to just keep it football after the loss and getting their teeth kicked in by the Baltimore Ravens. But Nabers, like Simmons, knows that if Sanders is selected by the New York Giants, he is most likely going to be a really good player there. And Nabers knows that that is the guy that can get him the football early and often. If you've watched this show over the past couple of weeks, you've heard me sing the praises of Sanders, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the class, one of the most smartest with the football in his hands, and also one of the most productive, completing over 74% of his passes, nearly 4,000 passing yards, 35 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. 3 things that I love about Shedeur. Calm under pressure. He has played behind a horrible offensive line in Boulder, sacked over 80 times in the last 2 years, but he finds a way to still take care of the football. A turnover-worthy play percentage of less than 2% in Colorado the last 2 years. He's also extremely accurate, an adjusted completion percentage north of 80%. He can hit any spot on the field. He's extremely skilled when it comes to layering the football. And I don't want to just call it accuracy. I want to call it ball placement. I think he's got the best ball placement of any QB in this class. And I love that he has 4 years of starting under his belt. He's going to come into the NFL, I think, the most pro-ready of any quarterback in this class because he's been there and done that at JSU as well as Colorado. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, though, because, look, it is going to be a juicy offseason for the New York Giants. We're going to be talking about quarterbacks every day. We're going to talk about how to rebuild this football team, maybe a new head coach and a new general manager search. So if you love the Giants and you want to stay up to date, go down right now and smash that sub button. Coming up next, we're going to react to what Cam Ward had to say when he was directly asked why he should be the quarterback for the New York Giants. That's around the corner. First, though, I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor of today's show, Game Time. If you're looking to get last-minute tickets to an upcoming sporting event, you want to go to a concert, maybe a theater event or a comedy show, download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code ChatSports to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. I've used all the ticketing apps out there, and Game Time is now the only one that I use every single time because I know I'm getting the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. And it's super user-friendly to use the app. You get last-minute tickets and flash deals, views from the seat inside the app, and lowest price guaranteed. And I love the features that they have as well, like all-in pricing. We all know that a lot of other apps out there like to hit you with those hidden fees when you get to checkout. Game Time, they do not do that. They also have the Game Time Picks feature, which makes it that much more easy to go see your favorite people perform. So download the app, create an account, use the promo code ChatSports, ChatSports, and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. All of that information will be clickable down in the comments and the description of today's video. What time is it? It is Game Time. Support the show. Support the sponsor. Alrighty, Cam Ward was also in New York City this past weekend for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. And unlike Sanders, who kind of, I would say, stirred the pot himself on being a New York Giant, since Cam was actually there with a chance to win the Heisman, he was asked multiple times by media members directly about being a New York Giant. And I love his answer to every single one. This is what Cam said when he was asked why the Giants should draft him. He said, if Joe Schoen wants to come get me, he knows what's best. The tape says it all. You're going to get a competitor out of me. The city of New York, I won't be in the city probably ever. I'll stay in New Jersey for all day, every day. It's too much out here. I'll just be vibing and trying to make some football plays for the Giants. I love the head that this kid has on his shoulders. The mental makeup of Cam Ward is to a T what you want in a franchise quarterback. He's all about ball, he's all about winning, and he's going to put in the work. I went and watched every single clip and every single quote that he had from this past weekend, and my takeaway is this. He is confident, but hungry. And what I mean by that is he knows he's that guy. He knows that he is the best football player in America right now. but he's also hungry, and he knows he can get better, and he knows it's going to take work to get better. So when you're confident to know you're the best, but you still want to go out there to work on yourself and improve as a football player, that is something that every single fan in this fan base can get behind. I also love this quote from Cam Ward saying, I know if, quote, the Giants get a chance to get me, they're going to get everything. They would be getting that dude. They would be getting somebody who is someone who doesn't care about anything, just how he moves, how he operates on and off the field, is confidence. Somebody who is going to challenge himself more than he challenges the team. At the end of the day, wins mean everything. You're getting a winner in Cam Ward. Cam also was asked, what is one word to describe himself? And he said, dog. And how many times have we used that word on this show to describe Cam Ward? You don't go from Incarnate Word after running a triple option offense your senior year of high school to D1 AA. Then you go to Wazoo and you're a captain there. You're the face of the franchise, organization, whatever you want to call it. Then you go to Miami and you have him in contention to make the college football playoff in just one season. If you're not a dog, if you're not a competitor, a leader, and an alpha. And those are all the buzzwords I would use to describe Cam Ward. I also love what he said here, quote, I don't really believe in pressure. I play football. Stay off the phone. That's all I can say. Enjoy your life. Make plays. Everything will take care of itself. That's my QB, man. That's my quarterback. That's my QB1 in this draft class. Everything about Cam Ward, the person, is the reason why I believe he is the guy for this franchise. We know how skilled he is. We know how special of a player he is. We know that he lit it up on Saturdays for Miami every single week this year, completing 67% of his passes, more than 4,100 passing yards, 36 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. But so often, it is more about what you have in between the ears than the talent that you can have on a football field to be successful at that position. Because that position, more than any other position in football, is so dependent on your processing, your maturity, your leadership, and your alphaness. And Cam Ward, he checks all those boxes. 3 things I love about him. Elite playmaking skills. I think he is the best creator, improviser, and playmaker in the class at the quarterback position. He needs to work and improve as a pocket presence and working from the pocket, but when the play breaks down, he's got to buy time for his receivers to get open. And it's the scramble drill. Nobody makes more plays outside of structure than Cam Ward. He's an alpha. He's a leader. He oozes confidence. But I wouldn't say he's cocky. I would say that he knows who he is. He is humble, but he also knows that he needs to continue to get better. I love all that. And he's just scratching the surface of who he can be in the National Football, who he could be as a football player and who he is going to be in the National Football League. I'll say it again. Triple option in high school to D1 AA football, to then go into Wazoo, then go into Miami, and earning a trip to New York City to potentially win the Heisman Trophy. This dude has everything I want in a franchise quarterback. That's why Cam Ward is my quarterback 1. Who do you want, though? We asked you at the top of the show. Maybe things have changed throughout this video. I will say this. I'd be cool with either of these QBs. But Cam Ward is QB1 for me, and Shedeur Sanders is QB2 for me. That doesn't mean I dislike Shedeur. Doesn't mean I don't want him. If the Giants draft Shedeur Sanders, it is going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. And he's a good quarterback. And that's all we're looking for. We are looking for the quarterback that can deliver. Lombardi 5 to 1925 Giants drive. And I believe both these guys have what it takes if you build around them. They're not the savior. You need more with them. But both of these guys can lead the charge to getting back to being a respectable franchise in this league. Make sure you are following me over on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG. We could talk about it more over there. Hit me up and let's go Big Blue.